What's happening? What's going on, guys? John Fitch. John Fitch knows nothing. And it was a unique weekend. A unique weekend because we had no bare knuckles, and um, there was no UFC. There was no UFC. They took a break after UFC 300, right? And so the big watches weren't going on. Um, I don't know if there was a one championship. I didn't look. They do a lot of Friday stuff, huh? I always forget to look. Um, but regardless, we did get a PFL. I don't know if this is new. I don't know if PFL on Fridays is new. I have a feeling it used to be on Thursday nights. Am I wrong? But I think that was one of the reasons why I didn't get a chance to watch it much. But I did watch the PFL on Friday, and then I watched what was it? Yeah, Karate Combat early. I got up early. I got up way early to watch Karate Combat, and then I had to drop my kid off at a sports ball practice, so I kind of didn't get a great look at some of the fights and matches. So I ended up just rewatching it all at home, anyways, because it was free on the YouTube. So if you can find it on the YouTubes, you should give it a check. Check it out. Yeah, we do have some bare knuckles this weekend coming up. That's gonna be good. Knuckle Mania. Excited for that. I'm in the Arizona teas. And yeah, Karate Combat was pretty cool. Let's go. If you don't mind, I think we'll go in a chronological fight order from the weekends, and chime into the PFL. Because I had to take the kids to one of my other kids had flag football stuff going on Friday. So I've been busy, like traveling and going to different football things. That's what my life is looking like right now. But I didn't get to see until about the Bubba Jenkins fight, I think. Right. I didn't get to sit down for Barzola to fight. I didn't see that. I couldn't find it free anywhere afterwards either. I don't know if I was looking in the wrong spot, but I did not see any of the undercards. I did not see Barzola's fight. Heard it was really close. Maybe could have gone any way. But Enrique was staying with me, getting ready for that fight. Thought he was going to get it done. But, man, there's just some tough guys out there. Borks has been around a long time. He's had a lot of fights. Bubba Jenkins and Kamaka, that was a fun fight. Kamaka came out on top. I thought that was pretty close. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't giving it full attention. Maybe I wasn't. But I kind of, from what I was looking at, man, I don't know. I kind of thought Bubba Jenkins won that fight. Was it that close? Am I off for the fight, huh? Did I measure in striking speed? Yeah, I guess he outstruck him. I don't know why I was thinking. Maybe it's because he was able to win on some of the grappling or something. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that when I was watching, but I thought it was. I don't know. I kind of felt like I was unsure. Maybe I was distracted. Maybe I got distracted at certain points throughout the match where it was evident that Bubba Jenkins was in fact losing. All right, and then we get to the welterweight bout with Yamauchi and Gracie. These guys fought before, right? Am I mistaken? Am I? I don't know. I gotta like. What is his overall record? What is it? Yes, August 12th, 2022. He lost. He got knocked out by Yamauchi. I am not understanding this at all. Can you guys help me out with this? What happened here? Because you just acquired a bunch of new fighters from Bellator to merge together with the PFL. So you're like, hey, you know what would be great for the fans to watch? A fight that already happened. Why? It's weird. You put them in the same tournament, put them on different brackets. That way, just in case, hey, if they win and they end up seeing each other in the finals, you can like use that as part of the storyline. But no, it's like first fights in the new organization, you make them rematch. I don't know, man. I think that was somebody dropped the ball. Some managers dropped the ball. PFL themselves dropped the ball. That shouldn't have happened. Sorry, it shouldn't happen. There's nothing really on the line, you know. Yeah, they gotta win to move forward in the tournament. But like Yamauchi's already got a KO win over Gracie. Sometimes that can be hard to like pull it out of yourself to dominate that much again. He did great. I mean, don't you have like a bunch of fresh blood? Don't you have like a bunch of fresh guys now to do the crossover stuff? Are you gonna make all the Bellator guys fight the Bellator guys in the tournament? That's a weird strategy. Are you like afraid that you're gonna mix the cards and all the Bellator guys are gonna win or something? Yeah, Yamauchi, he did. He got back from surgery because he had that crazy kick with the Venom with Venom Page. Venom. Man. I don't know. I feel like we got a little cheated. There should have been a different matchup going on there. Braga Gonzalez. What you guys think of this fight? KO round 1. They get extra points, right, for the tournament type thing. Getting them closer to the $1 million finals match. Just looking at that, the smart cage like stats and everything on here. So Gonzalez was throwing more, but it doesn't matter. Is that Braga with the win? Storley got a little bit ragdolled, didn't he? This guy. Round 2. Shamil took it to Storley for this fight, I must say. I don't know if I've seen Shamil fight before. Loughnane and Cavallo. This was controversial, right? Wasn't this a little controversial? Because the fight was kind of fine, back and forth, fairly evenly matched. I don't know. But there was a little mix-up where Pedro kind of hit the ground and was on his knees and was moving his head around. But I didn't see any significant, punches land. I wish we could show you the video, but I want to get dinged. It's just kind of strange why the ref would have stepped in when he did. Yeah. Floyd, what's up? Pretty Boy Glory in the house. What's going on? Yeah, PFL not quite up to par with UFC. And what do you expect? The production isn't too bad, but there's just so much PR stuff and puff around everything. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't need like all the dressing, all the window dressing. Just give me the fights. Yeah, you're right, Hamzamir. They definitely need to let Loughnane do way more. He needs to be doing a lot more. A lot of things they gotta fight back. He was on his knees. I didn't even see. I was seeing if I could find a video real quick or something I could even look at to describe. But yeah, man, there's no way that that should have happened. I'm gonna look for it. Because, yeah, what was his? I'm looking as fast as I can because is this the one? No. I'm saying this is a full fight. These are people put up videos of people playing video games. Try to get you. Is this? Nope, that's not it either. Come on. Yeah, he was on his knees, he was posting his head. There's some pictures I found. All right, I gotta make sure the sound's not on. So yeah, from the beginning, the sequence hits him with a straight right that sits Pedro down. Boom. Now he throws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glancing shots. Nothing solid. Nothing yet. He comes up. Lands 1 was he's posting. Lands 2, he's posting. The guy's still fine and moving. Gripping ankle picks him for a takedown. No. That was bad. That was bad. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. No. Ouch. He should I don't know. There's a formal way to complain? That was an unfinished fight. He almost got a takedown right there. The ref didn't step in. He ankle picked. I don't know. Do not agree with that. Not at all. Yeah, I had to rewatch. Yeah, I don't know if I can even show that. Hamzamir, because then I get my crap dinged on the tubes again. They hate me. The YouTubes. You guys must resist. It's punk rock to subscribe to my YouTube. Do it. Same thing with Instagram. I think they finally took down the warning. All right, main event. Amalatov and Korshkov, and man, Amalatov was just all over him. He's just I didn't see Korshkov doing much well in that fight. Yeah, he didn't. They don't have a measurement for top speed of strike. He wasn't able to throw anything very fast because he was getting Magomeded. He was getting Magomeded. That's what happened. Yeah. That was the PFL. There's decent fights. Some good action. The presentation isn't that bad. And then we get to early morning. I get up early, pop on the YouTubes, and Karate Combat is on because they're fighting in Saudi Arabia, I think, right? Now, one thing I will say is I do get a slightly classier vibe from the PFL, the way they're doing their broadcast. UFC feels a little trashy. It's always felt a little bit trashy. I don't know why. It's always felt a little bit pro wrestling to me. And then these fights, boxing, they always try to class it up. Aren't they always trying to make it dignified? And, people sit in the front seats always paying lots of money. Everybody's in really nice clothes when they go watch the big boxing fights. It's try to make it up class, right? Saudi Arabia, they got like morality police walking around. So if you're like out in public cussing, you might get in trouble, right? You're wearing the wrong thing, you might get in trouble. So some of the interviews, the Karate Combat, it was a little off-putting because the presentation is pretty clean cut, and I don't get a lot of trashy vibes. But then some of the fighters brought the trash with them. They brought the trash with them after the interviews. I get it. Like bare knuckle, it's a little trashy. It just is. But it's a suiting. It's good. It's not a bad thing. Let's leave it there, though. Let's leave it there. Oh, was it Dubai? It was Dubai, not Saudi. Okay. You're not a fan of karate combat, Mr. Hamzamir, at all? No? It was interesting. The rules were interesting. It's the first time I watched it other than highlights. And I can't say I won't not watch it again if there's an interesting matchup. But yeah, they start out the show with some grappling matches, which I don't think are too ridiculous or nothing. I don't mind having a little bit of grappling thrown in there. But it's submission only. There's no points. There's not that much time going on. Like, these guys need to be putting way more effort. There needs to be there shouldn't be any hesitations in this. They weren't, the matches weren't 20 minutes long. They weren't 30 minutes long or nothing. I don't know. I feel like these guys need to get after it, take risks. There needs to be a way to penalize them for not taking risks, or at least ways to reward them for taking bigger risks, because they were all kind of not that rewarding of grappling matches to watch. The Craig Jones and Renat Fakhretdinov was pretty fun, but mostly because Craig Jones is big enough to force some action with Renat. Renat really just tried to get into that guard and then that body lock pass is about the only thing he tried. Really, he didn't really do much of anything but hold on and defend the chokes. Craig Jones tried the full guard buggy choke, which GSP seemed to think was maybe the first time in competition he'd seen it. He was getting kind of giddy about it, so that seemed interesting. He was able to use that for a sweep, I think. And then towards the end, I mean, they really must have wanted Renat to do better, because Craig Jones choked him unconscious. He was choked unconscious. He was gone. The ref kind of stopped him and was shook him and woke him up to see if he was okay, and then proceeded to let the match go. I don't understand. I don't get it. So he choked him out twice. He choked him out twice in 30 seconds. It's wild. It's wild. He should get credit for both submissions. James Brasco saying that Craig doesn't go against great guys. He's a sandbagger. Is that what you're saying? Is that you're sandbagging for a paycheck? Well, I'll grapple him and get a paycheck. I enjoy the pit. The pit is interesting. Frank Shamrock had a pit idea a long time ago. The pit's been floating around for a while. The idea is to open up the viewing so there's no fence, and then prevent that little no man's land of the fence in the ground corner for you guys to get stuck in. Because when you have that angle, it's a lot easier to start popping up. So it does force more of a stand-up. But it's interesting because you can be on that back, but you're technically not down. So the guy can jump kick you and knee you in those positions. That's interesting. It takes somebody to the embankment and then pass guard over to knee him in the head. It could be fun. But karate combat. Okay, so the Craig Jones, grappling match I enjoyed it because he made it enjoyable to watch. He pushed the pace, he went after it. Then we get into the fights. The fights were okay. I mean, I didn't know who any of these guys were. I don't know anything much about them. But there were some guys throwing hard punches and kicks and getting knocked out. I think the rules kind of change from guy to guy, I guess, to whatever they agree upon. Because it seemed like some of them, there were no kicks to the upper leg, like the knee to hip area, the leg kick, the tie kick. But you could kick the calf, you could kick the body, kick the head. Spinny stuff seemed like it was always okay. And then I thought I saw somebody throw a standing elbow. So I don't know if there's elbows allowed everywhere or just standing elbows, or maybe it was just that match because it was a Muay Thai guy involved in it. I don't know. Do you guys know if it was fixed rule set? It seemed like it was shifting. Some guys, because I swear I saw some guys throw leg kicks too. That's what it seemed to me. The most notable matches, right? I'd say the Eddie Farrell defeating Raymond Daniels by unanimous decision. That was a great fight. That was a great fight because Raymond Daniels came out hot and heavy, and he's the Matrix, right? He can jump and spin and do all that crazy kung fu stuff, man. And the movie stuff. He does the movie stuff and makes it look like it's easy to do, and he's doing it in fights. And he got up to a lead, and he was winning considerably in the first part of that fight. But his opponent was a Thai style guy, right? Farrell was a Thai style fighter who kept a very solid structure, stayed tight, used good defense, and kept the kicks and the punches coming, and was able to force the clinch and knees some too. And I think him being like just that tank, that solid tank pressing forward was often what was getting the job done. He was getting inside, he's doing work, landing the knees, landing leg kicks. He had to slow up. He had to slow up a lot. All right. Mr. Daniels was slowing down, and his opponent walks away with the W. It was pretty close fight though. And that was fun. I thought it was a good little mixed style of fights between those two guys. It was fun, man. I enjoyed it, I will say. Tabuev and Rocha, right? Tabuev gets the KO a minute 57 into the match. Then we get into the main fight. Joe Schilling is way bigger than I thought he was. I don't know why I thought he was smaller. But yeah, he was every bit as big as Rockhold. They're both large people, long, large people. And yeah, Luke has some serious power in his left leg kick. He throws crazy hard with that, and I don't know why he doesn't just stick to it more, because he's so athletic. He can do the hard left kick to the body, jab, or it's left hand on that side, left power side on that side. Left hard to the body, jab with the right, push away, throw it again. Like, he is athletic enough to jump around and move around on that leg. Those guys are going to have a hard time catching that stuff ever. He can turn that leg into a knee at any time. He can go high with it, low with it, calf with it, back to the middle with it, push kick with it, question mark. He just over. He needs to use that leg nonstop. I don't know why he doesn't. He couldn't, obviously, in the bare knuckles because it was hands only. But that left leg is a menace, and he needs to use it way more. Gloy with the super chat. What's up, man? It says Gloy versus Wakefield 1 week from today, coach. First MMA fight at middleweight. Let's go, Coach Gloy. He's getting after it. He's going to be fighting next week. What city is that in? Is it in Fort Wayne? Is it up in Indiana somewhere? So people can know where it's at. You should have a link. Fort Wayne fights in Fort Wayne, guys. If you're in the Fort Wayne area, the AOS8. That's where the fights will be. Go check it out. Go check Gloy. Watch him beat some butt. Let's him go. Let's him go. Okay. What else we looking at? So Rockhold. This was a pretty good fight. The key punch here for Rockhold was that counter hook. He was landing it pretty well. It's one of his better punches. He throws very hard. He did a pretty good job most of the fight. He did get his nose rearranged by a really hard right hand by Joe Schilling, but he stayed in the fight. And this is one of those fights where, man, both these guys have been in a lot of wars. Both these guys have dealt out big knockouts. Both these guys have taken big knockouts. And I think when they get there to this level of their careers, like the first guy to really land that solid, clean, hard punch is usually the one that's going to get it. And though Joe did land a really nice right hand, Luke's nose took the brunt of the damage where Luke landed to the temple, putting the night away. So that was my first full karate combat. I love Bas Rutten on the mic. Georges St. Pierre was all right. What he said was fine, but it's too much French Canadian accent. Too much. He needs to Americanize his voice. He needs to learn more of an American accent. But he was good. He was really good on the mic because he could see things developing between the fighters, techniques that were working and weren't working, and things that were going to lead to other things. He did a good job. He did. And then that's the right. That's the thing. That's the yeah. That's the thing. Let's go. Okay. So now we have something we were talking about last week on Wednesday for Loose Change, right? We were talking about the mental condition of Ryan Garcia and whether or not he was able to mastermind this and fake it and play some kind of game on us all, or if he was really losing it and maybe he went through some crazy stuff and now he's not gonna make it. he can't, something bad's going on. What is it? Which is it? Because he started the fight off okay, and kept getting better. Wait, let's go. Okay. Hold on. Before we jump into the Ryan Garcia stuff, before we go straight away into Ryan Garcia, right? We need to talk about this, okay? So there were some really good undercard fights on this. I did not watch all of them, but I did come in for the Bektemir Melikuziev. What is it? Melikuziev. Yeah, Melikuziev. Bektemir Melikuziev and Pierre Diabombe. This was a wonderful. This is the fight I started paying attention to. I might have saw some of the Jimenez and Ramirez, but I think maybe it was already underway. But this is the fight that I started really paying attention to. It was marvelous, but we got robbed. We got robbed a little bit of the finish. I think it was supposed to be 8 to 10 rounds. 10 rounds. It's a 10-round fight. They're, I think, fighting for a belt, maybe. And Bektemir Milikuziev was a tank. And there was a lot of classic Orthodox Southpaw matchups this weekend. There were. And this was one of them. Bektemir was Southpaw. Diabombe is a Orthodox. Now, Milikuziev is the young up-and-coming hungry guy fighting for the rank. Okay, Diabombe is a 39-year-old gatekeeping veteran who's making guys pay him to have the honor of taking his rank. And Pierre gave Bektemir every little bit that he could take. Bektemir was winning a lot of the exchanges, was landing big punches coming down the middle, but Diabombe was throwing that overhand right to the body. He was landing some nice shots and was right in the fight. I think it was fourth round, though. They collided heads. And because the cut started getting worse, I think it was after the sixth round, the doctor checked on it again, and it was nasty. He was right above the eyelid and came down, and it was just a big mess. And that probably would not have been good career-wise. He had, I think, 4 rounds left after that, I think. Or no, did they go 7? They might have went 7 rounds. He might have had 3 rounds left. I can't remember if they went 6 or 7. So that's kind of good for Bektemir, I think. It was kind of good for him, though, for that to get called. And then for it to go to the scorecard because he was winning early. But Pierre Diabombe was coming back, right? He was coming back. If he could have maybe got a knockdown in one of those last couple 3 rounds, maybe things would have shaped up a little different. But he was landing that right hand. He was doing some good work. He was making it a fight. It was not going to go. It's not going to go easy. And if that headbutt wouldn't have happened and that cut wouldn't have happened, man, who knows? Who knows what could have happened in round 10? Who knows? It'll forever be a mystery. Then we had I thought was a great treat of a fight in the semi-main event. That's Arnold Barboza Jr. This guy's story was cool because he didn't want a nickname because he wanted him to be known as Junior, right? Arnold Jr. for his father. And he fought Sean McComb. What was his nickname? Public Nuisance. Public Nuisance, I think it was. From, was he Ireland? But this was a very fun fight. And Barboza was the champ. But Sean McComb had a career performance, I believe. The way he was able to move and slip and counter and land punches and the amount of punches he was able to land, he looked magnificent. And I'm kind of upset about this. I'm kind of upset about the scoring. I'm kind of upset that he did not get the nod. I thought he won this fight. I really thought he won this fight. Barboza was staying in the pocket, was pressuring, and was landing clean punches, yes. But I just think McComb outworked him. I think McComb did more. I think he landed more. I think he was closer to putting the fight away. I think it was him. I think it was his night. And worst comes to worst, what? They rematch? They have a rematch? I know that Barboza was undefeated, and you can't have him losing to this guy or whatever. But I don't know, man. I think that was unfortunate because that was a hell of a performance. What'd you guys think in the chat? Sean McComb, huh? Oh man, did we get? King Hap is in the chat. All right, man. What's up, buddy? He says on vacay and can't wait till I get back to the hotel. But guys, let's buy John some drinks and get him tipsy. Happy Hour Social Club VIP. Cheers. That's happy. If you guys haven't listened to the Happy Hour Social Club with Happy, the host, you're missing out. It's great stuff. I've been on, I think, twice now. 2 times? At least twice. Maybe once more, but at least twice. Okay, this is not a bad noticement. This is your thing you're noticing here, right? So AMS says, I am realizing that a lot of boxers are applying wrestling techniques in matches like indexing, headlocks, body locks. Part of, the boxing and fighting is that clinch game. You've got to know some clinching. Part of that clinch is, accepting it and refusing to accept it. If you don't know how to fight that stuff off, you don't know how to put pressure on your opponent, pulling somebody's head down. If he's gonna dig, if he's gonna stall and fight to that underhook on you to body lock you, and you can grab him by the neck and start putting pressure on his head to make him pay for it. Okay, well you're underhooking me to stop me from hitting you, but I can lean on you. I'm gonna hug the head and sag. I want to make your legs tired. I want to make your neck tired. Because you do that, you hang on a guy 4 or 5 rounds, like it's gonna bother. It's gonna bother the guy, especially if he's not used to it. If you're not a wrestler, you're not used to having somebody pulling your head all the time. That's why I think you guys involved in boxing, anything where you're fighting with your hands, man. Hand fight. Learn some hand fighting wrestling stuff, man. Go to my Gumroad. I got a whole seminar. Wearing a gi, but like it works without the gi. Just learn some hand fighting, bros. Figure it out. So yeah, I was a little upset at that. I was a little upset at the decision because I thought Sean McComb looked fantastic, and I was excited about watching that fight. It was fun. Rematch could have been cool. All right, so then we get into the main fight. Did he have us? Did he play us all? Are we all fools? Are we all fools? Huh? Is Ryan Garcia playing the fiddle and we're all dancing? Keep playing, boss. You're great. Because he's just masterminding everybody. Is that what just happened? Because I was convinced he had a manic episode. I was convinced this kid was done. Is it just that he's 25 and he's so talented still, and he's so skilled, and he still works hard with his craft that the mental breakdown doesn't matter, doesn't affect his performance because he's still just a super athlete? Is that a possibility? Or we were wrong? Were we wrong? We're wrong. Because that's wild, man. That was wild. Because I wouldn't listen to those interviews, look at his eyes, like what he's up to, what he's doing, how he's saying things. He didn't look good. Haney, I think, I don't know, maybe Haney was too confident going into that because Garcia was acting so crazy and he was just calm, cool. Like, okay, I'm just going to do my thing and it's to be all right. I'll be able to figure this out. And then he got hit. He saw that speed and he got hit with that hook, and then everything changed. His whole demeanor, his whole face, and everything looked like something happened. He's like, oh no, this kid is that guy. He's not just a crazy person, or he is a crazy person and he's that good. Maybe that was the look we saw on Haney's face. Maybe that was the look. Maybe that's why Tank won that fight. Right? Didn't Garcia lose the Tank? Maybe that's because Tank grew up rough in a rougher place with a lot rougher people, and he's just not impressed. He's not impressed with crazy. Maybe is that it? And he couldn't use crazy tactics with Tank. Oh, I see that rehydration cooldowns. That is another thing, okay? Because the weight classes in boxing are very close together. So, he's technically Garcia is coming in at a higher weight class. He's just at a higher weight class because there are so many weight classes. There are extras because there's enough guys to fill them, and it's safer for them to cut. And people like title fights, so more weight classes, more titles. People like watching title fights. It's just kind of business. 139 to 143. That was the weight. That's how much they weighed. I will say Haney did look a little bit smaller. I think he did fight a little bit more skittish after the first time he got hit. And then as the fight developed, I didn't know much about Haney and what Haney does and how he wins fights. But I did see the stats, the pre-fight stats. He had 30 some wins and only 15, or no, he had 11 knockouts or something. It was on the lower end for some of the top boxers, which is fine. But usually if their KO numbers lower, just made a call. Yeah, usually if their KO numbers lower, then you realize but they swarm and they throw a lot of combinations, and but their jab isn't really good, and their footwork, and they're hard to hit in their defense. Usually you know something about their ability that would kind of explain, or how they fight around being a boxer with low knockouts. 15 KOs. He still has 30 fights. So that's what I'm saying. It's 50%. Yeah, they should definitely. MMA should definitely have 10-pound increments. 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 205, 225, 285. That's my vote. That's what I think. Haney's last KO was in 2018. Yeah. So you have, so that's something nobody talked about. Everybody talked about, maybe, I feel that's what I'm saying, man. Everything's about betting. All right. Everything's about betting. If you guys notice, if you're paying attention, you can't watch a sport, a combat sport, grappling, anything without DraftKings, Bet Balls, Sell Your Mama for rent money, gambling.com. Everywhere. Right? Everything's gambling. So, are they trying to mess with the betting lines? Because, for Haney, if you just looked at the fight without looking at all the crazy antics, so Haney was going to have to win a controlled 12-round bout where he outpointed Garcia without Garcia being able to use his weight or size on him. avoiding the powerful, fast hook, right? He was going to have to evade, pepper outside. That was what's going to have to happen. And he was going to have to do that the whole 12 rounds because at any time, Garcia has the speed and power to end it with one hook, right? Like that's the baseline. But they don't want you to talk about that because isn't that going to mess with the betting lines? Right? You think? Am I off? Was that not supposed to happen? But I didn't even think about it. They got me. They get me too sometimes, guys. I'm busy. I understand. We're all just meat puppets. And they pull the right strings and we chase the carrot around. But they're doing all the antics. How was Haney supposed to win that fight? What? It wasn't big power. Well, he didn't bully people around. Tank bullies people around. I can see that. I can see like the street kid taking the pretty boy kids from the streets or the street adjacent, taking his lunch. I can see that. Volume. Okay, so volume. But still, man, that volume doesn't make me bet heavy, because when you have volume versus power, that's just every time you have to throw a punch, that means that you're open somewhere to get hit. If you got to punch 6-1 to overcome his power, that one is all it takes. And every time you open up yourself, something's coming. Somewhere. Mm-hmm. But again, we had a night of boxing that I thought was pretty awesome. What do you guys think? Were you disappointed? I was not. I thought that was a great fight. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a lot of fun. There's some ups and downs. Garcia paid $1.5 million for missing weight. Good. He should have bought my book. Ryan Garcia should have bought the Wake Up Bible. He would have made weight and he would have saved $1 million. Don't be Ryan Garcia. Get the Wake Up Bible by John Fitch, me, on Amazon right now. I think you probably go in my description and there's a link somewhere. You probably find it or just Google it. Go to Amazon, put it in there, Wake Up Bible. It's a good read. It's fun. And then you won't have to miss weight and pay money to people because you missed weight. Embarrassing. Don't let it happen to you, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, so what we got, man? What's the big news coming up? We have UFC next weekend. Any good? Or is it even further? Yeah, April 27th. Nicolau and Perez. Guskov, Span, Lipsky, Silva, Denise, Lane, Pierce, Onama, Tim Means, and Magic. I don't know. Yaya, Henry, Hubbard, Figlek, Mays, and Machado, Man, Souza, Green, Lontop, Petrovic, and and Mahashate and Gabriel Benitez. All right. Well, I want to watch, make sure I see Benitez. Mowgli, aka Guy. This is his last fight on his contract. Hopefully, he gets a big win off of that. You guys want to notice something real quick, though, right? It's his last fight on this contract. Mahashate is tough, 9-3, and they put him very first fight of the night on the bottom rung. He's been with the company 10 years. You too. And then 301, Pantosha and Ursig. I'm a fan of Ursig, man. He's been doing some things. Gonna be interesting. And then we also have yes. The BKFC. Knuckle Mania, guys. Knuckle Mania. If we do it, I'm gonna share. Knuckle Mania. There it is. Rothwell, Duffy. I sparred a little bit with Todd Duffy to prepare him for his fight with Rothwell so that he could get the feel of someone coming after him, trying to get to that plum choke and fighting him there inside. Terrell versus Hunt. I think it's gonna be a very tough fight for Hunt here because he does the two-weight class thing, but he play around too much at heavyweight, and you're gonna start fighting real heavyweights. And I think Terrell is a real heavyweight, and that 40-pound swing, 45-pound swing in opponents, and they keep a lot of their speed. I think after this fight, he might want to just stay at his normal weight. Not that he didn't do great in fights before at heavyweight, but the sport's starting to fill out. The weight class and the sport's starting to fill out. More guys are starting to show up to do this and be a part of this. So you're gonna start having some more killers, big killers come into the fray, I think. And I think Terrell might be one of those guys. Moves well, big freaking dude. Even like Duffy and Rothwell, big guys. Especially Rothwell. Rothwell's a monster. And in the main event, Mike Perry, Thiago Alves. I've fought Thiago twice. Not bare knuckle. In the cage with the 4-ouncers. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting because Thiago's a little bit older, but he is tough. He's seasoned. He can sit in that pocket. He can take punches. He can land punches. He hasn't lost in the bare knuckles, I don't think yet. I don't think that's a thing. I think he's undefeated. I think it took some time because he was waiting. He wanted this fight, right? He's 2-0. Okay, Perry's 4-0. Gonna be some good fights. Riggs and Angulo. Angulo is looking like frozen caveman lawyer. Interesting. Some good fights. Man. It's gonna be good. Knucklemania and the UFC next week. Both on the 27th. That's right, man. BYB is May 10th coming up. Nice. I will be setting up. I'm trying to set up summer teaching. I'm going to be making my road trip this year again with the fam, driving across the country, getting back home to Indiana, and I'm gonna stop along the way and meet some people and teach some violence because you never know. You never know. FAFO, F around and find out. You want to be the people they have to find out about. And you can't do that unless you train, right? Thanks for watching. If you guys are in the Fort Wayne area and you get a chance, Coach Gloy is fighting next weekend. He's going to be fighting next weekend. If you got a link, Gloy, you should share that with everybody. And then, yeah, there'll be a Fitch seminar and probably classes back in Fort Wayne. I'll probably try to come in more days this time. I think that would be fun. Get a feel for things. This workout, this trip might be, maybe I can stretch it out a few more days. This would be nice. That would be nice if I could stretch it out a little bit longer. And that if I have more places to teach at, I can stretch it out longer because I got money coming in. Ooh. Oh, there it is. artsofscrapfights.com. Fights are going to be at the War Memorial Coliseum, the very same War Memorial Coliseum that I won 2 semi-state championships back in high school, my junior and senior years. A 2-time semi-state champ. And we wrestled out on the main floor above the ice where the Fort Wayne Comets used to play. I don't know if the Comets still play there or not. I would assume so. They were a big deal, the Comets, back in the day. And yeah, it was great. They put the plywood out and then the rugs and then the mats on top, and then the place would be full of people. That's where I got my first taste of competing in front of large groups and liking it. So it was awesome. It was a great experience, and now you guys can go and watch Gloy fight somebody, beat somebody up in that same place where I have sweated and made people bleed. All right, man. Show people real karate. What's real karate? What is this? What is this? What is... I don't know what that is. What is real karate? What is real karate? Is this Bruce Lee? Yeah, the Kyokushin karate. Fun. 1970s karate. Nice. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Appreciate the super chats very much. Yeah, guys. I'll be working hard all week. I got my programs up for sale. I started doing some Facebook ads up there for some of the programs. See how those go. And then have to tweak them as we go, as the days go. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? It's good to have you stop by. We're wrapping up here. Thanks for tuning in, though, guys. It was good. We're going to have a lot to talk about next time, with the bare knuckles and the UFC card. I'm sure there'll be some gems as usual. But yeah, the Ryan Garcia, man, keep an eye on him. I don't know what's up. He's either playing us for fools or he's just so talented that he can be crazy and have a manic episode and still perform. Or maybe Haney's not that good. I don't know. Or it's all fake and everybody's allegedly on the take. Yep, that could be it. All right, guys.